YouTube. Crazy work.
He's the toughest son of a bitch I ever met.
Better bet your sweet ass. What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bag TV, man. If you don't get your goof ass in here and hit the bag. All right, man. My guy, Keyshawn Davis. Oh, the hate is starting to pour in, nigga. Yeah, the hate is out here, and I see it. It's emerging. And one thing's for sure, two things for certain. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing your job. And Keyshawn Davis, as of recently, is doing his job extremely well as he completely destroys what was supposed to be huge step-up fights in his young career, right? You're talking about a Gustavo Lemos, second round KO. And now, over this past weekend on Friday, of course, a Dennis Bernchik, undefeated Ukrainian fighter, extensive amateur background. You think of the likes of a Usyk and Lomachenko. Get him out of here. Destroyed him. Fourth round, right? So now the big question is, what's next? What's next for Keyshawn Davis in a division that hasn't been unified, of course, since Devin Haney was able to take care of business against Kambosos, right? We want to see these unifications, right? Unfortunately, because of, the brotherhood between Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson, and I'm going to go out and say I don't like that for the sport of boxing, but at the end of the day, I can't tell them cats who to be friends with, who not to be friends with. I'm pretty sure whatever they have, that shit run deep, so deep to the fact that they wouldn't even fight each other. But a part of me feels like Keyshawn would be down. Right? When I look behind the crazy in that nigga's eyes, I just feel like he'd be down, especially if, that check was right. I think it would probably be a little bit more on Shakur actually wanting to go through with it. But they got Tank Davis, Lomachenko. Lomachenko, the IBF guy. Tank, the WBA guy. Now, of course, Lomachenko, 1 foot in, 1 foot out right now. As far as we know, it appears that he may want to retire. Of course, being approached by Tank's team to get that fight done. And he said, listen, I'm paying attention to family and friends right now. Don't want to do that right now, right? Would he have that same energy for Keyshawn Davis? And given what Davis has did to his last couple of opponents, and then of course another Ukrainian, and then his Bernchik, which I'm pretty sure Lomachenko knows just how tough Dennis Bernchik is. They're around the same age, older fighters, 36 years old. Seeing what Keyshawn was able to do to him, does Lomachenko want any part of that smoke? I seriously doubt it. The road for the dream of Lomachenko of becoming undisputed has just gotten even tougher, right? Because if you're Lomachenko, to become undisputed, you're going to have to go through Keyshawn Davis and Gervonta Davis. Matter of fact, for Loma, it's just damn near impossible. Now that Key's got this WBO scrap, for Loma, it's probably time to hang it up. And for Tank Davis, it's going to take for him to actually send Keyshawn Davis a contract, right? Similar to what he did with Shakur Stevenson, or so he says. Shakur says he's never received an offer or a contract. I believe him. I think it probably never made it past those preliminary talks, as to it was reported that Shakur Stevenson wanted a multi-fight deal. And for those of you who may be confused by that multi-fight deal, understand this. Shakur is a champion, a WBC champion in the weight class. Typically and historically, if you lose and you're a champion, you get a rematch, right? That's put into the contractual agreement. What Tank Davis is doing is sending this nigga a contract, and this is just what I'm speculating. This is what I'm assuming, that in that contract or that offer, it's going to be stating, hey, if I, Tank Davis, lose, I get a rematch. But if you lose, you don't get no rematch. So for Shakur Stevenson, that multi-fight deal more than likely is just saying, hey, I'm a champion. If I lose, I would like to run that smoke again. And Tanking them is basically saying, nah, but if I lose, I get to run the smoke again. And again, this is what I'm assuming. I'm not assuming that Shakur Stevenson wants a multi-fight deal with PBC because he just wants to be down with Al Heyman in the PBC and fight other PBC fighters. No, I think he has his side. He understands the business now. Definitely wants to continue to align himself with Turkey Al Sheik and get those bags, but he definitely wants a rematch if in fact he fights Tank and he loses. And I think it's going to be the same situation if Tank actually wants to fight Keyshawn Davis. Now, for me, I kind of feel like given Tank's career, how for the most part he's steered clear of prominent threats, right? Like a Keyshawn Davis. I'm not so sure he sends him a contract, but if he does, I think it'll be along those same terms where if I beat you, it's over. If you beat me, I get the rematch. Would Keyshawn Davis be willing to do so? I think so. And I kept saying I don't think Keyshawn's ready for Tank Davis for, if that call came anytime soon. But now that my guy's a world champion, there's no excuses, right? When you become a world champion, this is the statement that says, hey, I am one of the best in the division, bottom line. So if that contract comes and he takes the fight, right now, being a world champion, that's a statement saying, hey, I'm ready. Oh, I can't believe this. But I definitely want to, I want that smoke. I want to see him take that smoke. I want to see all these fights. These are all great fights. Can it happen? I'm not so sure, man. To be honest, I really don't know what's next for Keyshawn Davis. Shout out Oscar De La Hoya trying to throw the hat in the ring for Oscar Duarte. They recently put up graphics showing the fact that Duarte was able to knock out Modeno as the Keyshawn went the distance with him. And listen, styles make fights, bro. At the end of the day, Keyshawn wasn't able to get Modeno out of there. He's a tough guy. Duarte was. But you think about Floyd Mayweather and Castillo. He went the distance twice with Castillo, where you had Ricky Hatton got Castillo out of there in like 4 or 6, right? So styles definitely make fights. And, Mayweather turned around and knocked Ricky Hatton out. So you can't use that as a measuring stick, in my opinion. But it's interesting to throw Duarte in there, even though I think that's a tough fight as well. The Tito Mercadas, it's a lot of great fights out there. More than anything, I definitely hope we can get Andy Cruz on the menu. I just don't think Eddie Hearn, especially given what Keyshawn was able to do in his last 2 performances, wants to be trying to throw Andy Cruz in there anytime soon. But that would be some smoke, probably the most important smoke, because I know Keyshawn's got to be tired of the amateur talk and I'm your daddy talk from the Andy Cruz and Cuban fans, bro. So hopefully, if nothing else, bare minimum, you can get Andy Cruz in the scope. All right, definitely want to know y'all's thoughts, man. That's all I got for y'all on this one. Big T.O. Heavy Bag. I am out of here. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.